All right, hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's Rob at Smirking Gun Reviews, and today we are starting season 2 of Ozark. In case anybody wonders, we do have all the season 1 reviews up for this show. If you haven't watched season 1 and you want to get caught up before you watch season 2, we've got those reviews on the channel. Really excited for this. Really impressed with last season. Really impressed with Jason Bateman and the fact that he's acting and directing in these episodes in this series. And so this is called Season 1, Episode 2, Reparations. So full spoilers if you haven't seen it. We will be doing this series and Jack Ryan concurrently. Like, I'll be doing one and another all weekend long until I get it all done. Should be take till about Sunday because I got to work all day today, all day tomorrow. And somewhere in between there, I'm doing all these episodes. So if you're looking for quick reviews, I won't have another one up until tonight. But I do have the first episode of Jack Ryan up already. This one will be uploaded here probably by about 9:30 in the morning. And then I won't have another one of these till tonight. But then after that, it's going to be pretty quick succession going forward. So anyway. Good episode. Usually in one of these kind of episodes, we're playing catch up a lot, but instead we just get thrown right in. I like that. There's not a lot of previously on, So we do have that quick cold open, and it kind of shows where we're headed, which is politics. With the casino being prepped and wanting to get ready to go, it's going to deal with a lot of greasing a lot of palms and dealing with a lot of people with their hands out too. So you've got so many people with money in this, like that want something, but whether it's the Snells or the cartel or even to some extent, I imagine the Langmores still will be wanting more money. Then you're going to have all these politicians and everybody that ends up with, that kind of thing, that kind of business. Everybody's going to have their hands out. So the possibilities for complications in this show, while it should have gotten simpler for the birds, it's just gotten way more complicated. Maybe they're downplaying it just a tad. Marty's confidence in himself is great, but I do think that we're actually in worse shape now than we were last season. Last season was all just about surviving each day. This is going to be about long term and, digging yourself a hole so deep. Because throughout this, they talk about where they're going to go after this is all done. Where should we move to? What are we going to do where nobody's going to find us and all this stuff? And it's like, that's just great. Although, it's like the well-laid plans of mice and men, that kind of thing. I don't see this ending in season 2 with them like sitting on a beach somewhere. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe that my expectations will be circumvented. But it just seems like it's kind of like fun to watch people with this kind of optimism in such a bad situation, knowing full well that it's probably not going to end well for anybody, but it's the journey, at least, that we get to enjoy along the way. So we do start with that political scene, and it comes back around throughout the episode. They don't have the symbols up. I couldn't find the symbols. I didn't want to sit here with Netflix on pause with everything. Like, I could have had that up. If nobody cares, I probably will just have the Netflix up and just have the symbols on pause. I like to continue to do that. So this was like one of the only wallpapers I could find, and it's not like it's like very bland. It doesn't say, hey, watch this video of 2 people standing around. Anyway, if you liked season 1, hopefully you've watched some of my videos. If not, welcome to the channel. Anyway, let's just jump right in after that. So they've been at the political thing. We go back around where the 2 hillbillies are Barry and Dell, the Snells, Darlene, and their like henchmen. And, the conversation that they're having, where she's like, maybe I shouldn't have shot him. It's like, yeah, no shit. Like, the theme of pride with these people, it seems to end to a suicidal degree. They don't really, their pride runs so much that they're just like, go ahead, kill us. Even near later on in the episode, they're just basically like, bring it on. They don't really seem to have much care for their own lives when it comes to past their pride. Like, Jacob at least understands the business and what you got to do to survive. Darlene is just so much more hot-headed that she's more of a liability than anything. And if anything is going to probably bring Jacob down, it would be her. Which, could very well possibly be the future of these people. So now we have the introduction of Helen, the lawyer of Dell's. Now they try to cover it up. They say that they're going to, take his, car, drive it to Chicago, use his credit card. Very small time thinking, because in this day and age, this isn't the 1980s, the 70s, 60s, where you could do something like that and nobody would notice. Cameras are everywhere. So it's very small-minded thinking to think that they could just go somewhere and swipe a credit card and nobody would find out. So either they're just that stupid, or that's just not really great writing, but whatever. I mean, they have to get found out. The episode's called Reparations. In the description, it says they find out. So it's like you're just waiting for them to find out. If you go into this episode cold, you wouldn't know that. But so now it's up to them to start negotiating a new deal. But this is before they'd find out that Dell was actually dead. So they talk about the numbers, and this is another scene where it's like great to see Marty just stand up. Like, these two people who can't, keep butting heads, this whole pride thing. There's pride versus we can kill you. So you got the Snells on one side who are just like, you got to show respect and pride and blah, 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 and yeehaw. And then the cartel is just like, they're the lawyer, it's like a lawyer firm that can just throw money at something, So, a corporate, like it's part of a corporation. You can do whatever you want. You can have whatever great case you want, but they can just keep throwing money at it, or people, or bullets. They don't care what these people have to think. And that's the thing that the Snells just can't wrap their heads around, is that you're in an unwinnable situation. You killed this guy. You're going to have to pay eventually. But before that, the deal, even with the deal-making process, they don't seem to get that once you're in, you're in. And like Marty's found out, you can't just walk away. So the 80-20 thing is, you just got to take it. Marty saying he wants 3%, that was pretty great. I mean, I love he's just like, I'm just being transparent. I just want everybody to know where I stand. Now with Ruth in this, she's going to be interesting. Now, I said last season, going and seeing the trailer of season 2, it kind of sucks seeing her get kind of turned around now that her dad is out. Why does she always look like she's about to cry? Maybe she is. Maybe she's she's always put in these situations where she's this far away from like an emotional breakdown, whether it's a violent one or just a complete collapse emotionally. But even when she's like asking Marty for like a raise, she looks like she's just like, I can't do it. But she just looks like she's about to break down, either with, I can't tell about out of gratitude or out of shame. Her dad, let's just put a clock on how long he lasts. I don't see him lasting this season. He just seems like another Russ. Actually less interesting than even Russ. He's more like a Boyd to me. Like, he's just another one of those characters that's supposed to trip up and give Ruth like this moral dilemma. I mean, she already made one to take out Russ and Boyd. Now her father, who is, a more important figure in her life, it's going to be choosing between her life with the birds and her dad. Now, from the trailer, it looks like there will be a falling out of sorts between her and Marty, which really sucks. But I guess, in some ways, maybe Ruth is a better, antagonist than or like a slightly like a villain. She is really smart, so going up against Marty, she really could cause a lot of problems for him. I just kind of think that they already have enough villains in this show, but maybe they just want to see how many plates they can spin. But I don't like this dad character. I feel like even at the parole hearing, it seemed like, does she really want him out? Is this just simply out of familial obligation? Because during last season, he was talking about, you're gonna kill him and everything, but now it's kind of changed now that he's out. Like, he kind of accepts the fact that she's got this job and she's making money, and just remember that he's not your father. But we'll see how much any of that is true, and whether he'll be making his own plans. I see him as just being a wild card, a loose cannon that will end up probably having to die at some point, probably around like episode 6, 7, 8. They'll keep that character around just long enough to where you just want to strangle him and then he'll get popped, or something bad will happen to him. But maybe I'm wrong. The kids and the money. Good move on their part, even though they don't know that Rachel has stolen a bunch of it and took off. I like that they continue with that they explain that. Tuck's sitting there going, I don't know where she is. She hasn't been here in like 2 days, and this is where they find the money missing. So, he says, Marty's like, she fucked us, but really, honestly, she saw her opportunity and she took it. Whether she'll be back or not, I don't know. It'd be nice to see her come back in some capacity. I like that actress. I like that character. But if she never shows up, it means to me like, hey, she got away clean. And she was being used anyway. So kind of good on her for taking her cut of the money when she could. But speaking of the money, see, now they have to recount it. So the money that the kids took, the parents, Marty and Helen or Wendy, we'll never know that the kids have it. And I think it's smart if they hold on to it, because I think that's a bit of foreshadowing where they say you never know when we're going to need it. So that's definitely feels like foreshadowing to me. I like how they're, in this now, the family being all a part of it. Even Buddy is kind of like a part of their extended family that's all in on it, which is a very stark difference to Breaking Bad, where Walter's doing everything to keep his family out of it. And it isn't until later that Skyler, spoilers, becomes a part of it. But, they never get their kid, and Hank, and nobody ever becomes a part of it. So it's going to be interesting going forward to see how much the whole family plays a part and how much of a part they will be playing in this. The scene where they go looking they find the video where the place where supposedly the credit card got swiped. That scene is just a little too on the nose. You know exactly what's going to happen as soon as the kid's like, yeah, I'm not going to help you out, man. It's just, I'd say, oh no, like it's showing their cruelty, but we know what this kid's fate's going to be as soon as he gives her attitude. And I guess it's just to show how, they'll take out anybody. But I think we already know that. They're a cartel. They'll do whatever. The guy doesn't care that he's on camera. He just takes the whole thing and walks away and, and shoots the kid. If it's supposed to put us oh no, the stakes are really high, we already know the stakes are high. So, and I don't think that kid was going to walk out of there even if he gave the camera up. But maybe, I don't know. She's playing the lawyer part, but they wanted that scene in there. So, there we go. Oh, geez. And again, apologies. I'm getting a cold, so I'm very nasally right now. What else do we got? Okay, the guy that they called Slugworth. That was really great. Okay, the beginning of this, when he sees that guy that's been in a ton of stuff. They call him Slugworth from Willy Wonka. That was great. And when he comes back, he is just this kind of lurch-like, serious man. But you can tell he's just another guy with his hand out. The party scene that they go back to, where you start to see where Wendy's, political background start to come to the fray, which is a very much a turn on for the two of them to see. Marty's definitely finally sexually interested in her again after watching her work. Although, like, the sex scene in the car, it is pretty awkward, but it is, like, cool to see that, like, this is where their spark comes back, literally. Now, the whole thing at the end with the reparations, so yes, they're back. The lawyer and her henchmen are back, and it's up to Marty to go inside the house and get the Snells to make some sort of amends to the situation. Otherwise, they're going to get stormed Scarface style and all get killed. So, except in this case, like, they have warning that they're about to be taken out. Al Pacino didn't know until it was almost too late. But anyway, so Marty goes in there to talk to them, and this again, they say, like, look, this is what's got to happen. They're just going to come in here and they're going to kill all of us. I thought Wendy's trying to talk to them about how they have kids, it was a little too desperate because they don't care. No amount of talking, but I mean, I guess you have to have that part in there because she is a mother and you want her to feel like, she, would say and do anything. But again, Darlene in this scene showing, that let's just bring them on. Like, yeah, we'll all get killed. But it's Jacob who wisens up and makes the sacrifice that needs to be made. And that part I didn't see coming. Some of this episode is kind of telegraphed, but I didn't see that coming, where he bashes his own dude's head in and then sticks a hot poker right into his back, knowing, eye for an eye. We killed their man. This is the only way to show that if we kill one of our own, I don't know. I mean, it's an interesting thing. I would have thought that maybe they would want more. They're the cartel. They can ask for anything. I also like when she says that we have a really deep bench. Nice baseball reference as far as cartels go. But anyway, yeah, so they accept the deal. And Wendy trying to talk to Marty about the moral repercussions of it all and at least admit that it was good for us. And yeah, it was. So all this seems almost right with the world, but as soon as the next episode comes, it will come with its own problems as well. So anyway, great return to the show. Jason Bateman directed this one as well, so it's another great episode that he's directed. How he's building a reputation now as a good director, so maybe this show is kind of like his jumping off point. But anyway, that's it for this. So if you like this video, please hit the like button, comment, share, subscribe, hit the bell for all notifications, all that jazz. And we will see you on the next episode. So this is Rob for Smirking Gun Reviews saying thanks for choosing to watch this video, and we will see you on the next one.